Hello everyone, this is Satvik again. Thank you for the likes, subscriptions and your love for my first video. You have encouraged me to one more video. If you have not seen my earlier video, then the link is in the description down below. Do you know this wand? This is the Elder Wand from the Harry Potter series. Let's ask this Elder Wand today, which author should we talk about? Which author series? Hey Elder Wand, tell us which author series should we talk about today? It said Roald Dahl. Oh my God, he's another favorite of my authors. So let's do some magic. Aloha Mora. Oh my gosh, it worked. So this is the 15 book series of Roald Dahl. So do you know Roald Dahl? If you don't, then these two books you should especially read. Boy and Going Solo. In Boy, we understand that what were his adventures when he was a young boy in Landgraf Cathedral School, in St. Peter's School and even in Repton and Shell School. In Going Solo, we see after he graduated from school, how his adventures with the RAF. Then, after retirement, he dedicated his full time to reading. His notable works include Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda and the BFG. So this is the first one, the BFG, which stands for the Big Friendly Giant. So the BFG at every night at the witching hour goes at every child's bedroom and through his pipe blows and kind of magical substance, which means dream, into the child's mind, and the child gets sweet dreams, but nobody is able to see him. But one day, a girl, Sophie, is awake at that time and she sees him doing it. When the BFG sees that she has seen him doing all of that, he takes her to the giant land. At the giant land, they see that there are many worse giants. They are not as good as the Big Friendly Giant, and they like eating children. So read this book to see that how do Sophie and the BFG try to stop the giants from eating children. This was made into two films, one in the 1990s and one in 2016. The second book is Matilda. Matilda is a story of a girl who is extremely intelligent, but her family doesn't like her. They take her to one school named Cumcham Hall. There she meets two teachers, Miss Honey and Miss Trunchbull. Miss Honey is very nice, amazing, and she takes care of every child. But Miss Trunchbull is exactly the opposite. She is so horrible that she throws girls with the pigtails out of the playground fence like this. So she's so horrible. Read this book to see how do Matilda and Miss Honey drive out Miss Trunchbull out of Crunchem Hall and make Crunchem Hall a better place. Ezio Trot, the third book. If you will see this, if you will unscramble, Tall Toys. This is a story about Mr. Hoppy who loves a woman, but that woman only gives her love to her tall toys, Alfie. He works out a plan to make that woman happy and make her love him. And in the end, they marry each other. So read this book how he does that. Joel's Marvelous Medicine. This is a book about a boy named Joel who is really good and his parents love him, but his grandmother doesn't like him at all. She's kind of a witch And one day, when the parents are away, she tries to terrorize him. Then he tries to make a medicine for his grandmother to cure her. But something unexpected happens, and they become famous. Read this book to see what does the medicine do. Fantastic Mr. Fox. The Fantastic Mr. Fox is the story about Mr. Fox who goes to three people, Boggis, Buns and Bean, and steals their food as they are starving. One day, those three even cut his tail and try to kill him. But he goes under the soil and makes a way underneath with his friend, the badger, and the children. And then they go to their houses, Boggis, Buns and Bean's houses, and steal something from there. Amazing, isn't it? This also made into 2 movies, okay? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'd say this is the most best book in this series. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was inspired by that when Roald Dahl was a young child, he loved chocolate, he loved dairy milk, he just loved it. And this inspired him to make this book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It is a story about Charlie Bucket and boy who is really poor and they are starving. Then Mr. Wonka, the greatest chocolate maker ever, makes an announcement that 5 children can come inside his factory and see all his secrets. And miraculously, one of them is Charlie. Then he saw some challenges and at the end, spoiler alert, he becomes the owner of the chocolate factory. Read this book to see what happens. The next part only of this book, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. When Mr. Wonka gives Charlie his own factory and makes it Charlie's Chocolate Factory, they go through the elevator and take all his family into the elevator and try to take them back. But then Wonka realizes that they have to go high up so that they can come down. So they go high up, but at that exact time when he had to hit that button to let them come down, Grandma Josephine, the grandmother of Charlie, holds his hand and pulls him behind. And so they go floating in the air and all is lost. But then they see a space hotel. And soon and there are vermicious needs in it. But after some time they survive it. Read this book to see more. Danny, the champion of the world. And boss is poor, but we might think he's really rich. They lived in a caravan, which suggested they were poor. But his father was amazing. He used to make machines for him on his every birthday, and every week he used to make some new things for him. They used to play and do fun at their filling station too. Then the dark secret of Danny's father is revealed. Danny's father likes to hunt pheasants and he loves killing them and eating them because they're amazing to eat. But Danny doesn't find it horrible at all. He finds it amazing and he goes with his father to catch the pheasants and gets out an amazing idea and catches the most number of pheasants that till now anybody has catched. So read this book to see more. The Magic Finger. This book is about a girl who has an power. When she gets cross, her finger gives an electric shock and it touches and she points it at that person magically, and that person gets into problems. This happens with the family Greg. They become birds, and the birds become men, and they are in grave danger. The Witches. The Witch is kind of a horror book. This book is about a boy who has lost his parents in a car crash, and he goes to live with his grandmother. The grandma tells him about his stories about witches. Then they go into an hotel to stay. But unfortunately, in that hotel, the Grand High Witch comes and she tries to kill children. My God. Then, how do that boy and the grandma escape? And spoiler alert, the witch, the Grand High Witch, and all the other witches turn into rats. Woohoo. The Twits, a short book. It's about Mr. and Mrs. Twit, which are really horrible. And they try to make a monkey circus which is upside down. They do all the things upside down, the monkeys. Horrible, isn't it? But then one day Mr. and Mrs. Twit don't get bird pie to eat, their favorite snack. So they bring out guns to kill all of them. But unfortunately, the monkey gets close to the roly-poly bird, and it helps them escape. And they make an excellent plan, and through that, Mr. and Mrs. Twit went to a horrible end. The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me. This story is about a boy who sees that there is the grubber and sweet shop, and one day he sees, and it was always closed, but one day he sees that there are 3 customers in it, and they are now owning it. They buy it, and the owners are a pelican and giraffe and the monkey. Read this book to see what adventures do they make together. James and a Giant Peach. A really good book. It's about James who's terrorized, whose parents are killed, but his 2 aunts are really horrible and they take horrible care of him. Then one day, a person gives him some seeds, and a really big peach grows from it. But one day he goes to discover in that peach, and he sees that there is a door. He opens it and he sees these all friends, the centipede, the grasshopper, and so many of his friends. And he makes them friends. And one day, all of them become rich. And James lives an amazing life with them. Okay then, we have ended this too. So, bye bye. Like, comment and subscribe. And until next time, keep reading.